Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Grand Challenge 2025, and this is part number 2, battle number 30. Now, our opponent here today is going to lead off with a Sneasler and a Dondozo. Meanwhile, we're coming in here with our Cantonian Executor and our Cantonian Ninetales. The drought is in effect, and that means that the sun is harsh, activating the chlorophyll and ×2 speed. Now, we have a couple of options here. We can either go directly for the Leaf Storm into the Dondozo, or we can try to go for an Expanding Force into the Sneasler. However, we do still have the option here of Ninetales. We can either go in for the Solar Beam directly to the Dozo, or we could go for the Heat Wave. Now, it looks like the Dondozo is going to be swapped out, and Garganacl is going to come onto the field. Now, Garganacl is a very bulky Pokemon and could pose to be a big threat to us there, as seen in the past. Luckily for us, we managed to get an Expanding Force off onto the Sneasler and brought it down to its Focus Sash. With the Ninetales, of course, still in effect, it is going to have to be one of our big bad Pokemon here because our Executor just got knocked out by a Dire Claw. Not really what I thought was going to happen. However, we did go in for the Heat Wave here. Not going to be able to do much to that Garganacl, and the Sneasler has avoided. Now, Garganacl, of course, does have the leftover, so it's going to regain a little bit of health here as we go. And I, too, am also going to be bringing in my Sneasler to this battle because Sneasler is a big, bad, fast, and physically attacking Pokemon. I'm hoping we're going to be able to take out one of the two opposing Pokemon. Now, we do have Ninetales here. We could go in for the Terrestrialization and go for the Heat Wave. Probably the only option that I really have here at this point because, quite frankly, Sneasler is going to have to do all the work into that Garganacl. That Pokemon is going to be a big problem for us. So as long as the opposing Sneasler doesn't avoid this attack, we should be able to get a big old knockout here. So here we go, Terrestrialization to Purifier, which we were already fired before, mind you, but we should be able to get a boost with our attack here. So here's Coaching coming in from the Sneasler into the Garganacl, and it boosts up its attack stat and its defensive values. Here goes the Heat Wave, and this is looking like it's going to hit the two opposing Pokemon. However, we do not get a knockout onto the Garganacl. Now, at the very beginning of the battle there, when the Dondozo was in, I was really hoping that they were going to go in for like a Terra Steel and maybe swap out to like maybe a Tatsugiri of some kind, because quite frankly, if they went for like the Terra Steel or a Terra Grass, you know, that Heat Wave would have done some damage, but unfortunately, that was not the case. So back in comes Dondozo, and of course, Dondozo, you guys know I'm not a big fan of Dondozo to begin with. Neither am I a big fan of Tatsugiri, so I'm really hoping that this Pokemon does not stay around for too long. We're going to go in for the Dire Claw into the Dondozo, and then I realized my mistake. I realistically should be attacking that Garganacl. And then, of course, we have selected into going for the Solar Beam into the Dondozo itself, being a Water-type Pokemon. Plus, as well, with the sun up, we should be able to get a decent Solar Beam out there. However, here comes a Terrestrialization. Now, Terrestrialization is going into the Garganacl into being a Ghost-type Pokemon, which is actually a very worst-case scenario. Being a Ghost-type Pokemon, it can't get hit by any kind of fighting-based moves that my Sneasler has, so we're up the creek without a paddle here. We can't really do much to that thing now, and we are going to try to get the Solar Beam off onto this Dondozo, and I'm hoping it's actually going to do some serious work. Luckily for us, it takes it down to about a quarter HP, and then here comes the Wave Crashing Retaliation. I'm actually surprised that we managed to survive that hit. Getting a little bit of damage there from its own recoil. The Dondozo still holds on, and then of course my Ninetales gets Salt Cured, which means that it's going to go down, I'm afraid. Salt Cure is a super effective move against Fire-type Pokemon, and quite frankly, there is just no chance of survival. Now, with the Garganacl, I don't have a whole lot of options here to try to take this Pokemon. We are going to come in here with a Murkrow, but of course, as you know, my Sneasler is a physical-type attacker. Being that Garganacl has some crazy defensive values, the close combat was the only option that I really had. However, I do still have Foul Play, which is good because it does have those boosts from the coaching, so we might actually be able to do something there. Luckily, we did get the Dondozo taken out, which is fantastic. I'm really glad to see that Pokemon go away. We did get the foul play off, but it looks like we're going to get Salt cured in retaliation. Murkrow is barely holding on there with 9 HP, and it is not looking good for our little tiny crow Pokemon. A little bit of leftovers there coming back onto the Garganacl, of course regaining a little bit of health, and with 9 HP remaining, the Salt Cure at the end of the turn does pick up the KO off onto the Murkrow. So we have 1 Pokemon remaining, we have 2 Pokemon on the opposing side, and of course one of those Pokemon are the Ghost type. Not a good situation, and then as you can see, Tatsugiri comes in, which I'm actually surprised that Dondozo didn't go for the Commander situation and, you know, eat that little sushi Pokemon and get all those boosts, but you know what? Looks like they set up perfectly fine on that Garganacl because I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Now, of course, we are deciding to go in against the Tatsugiri. Tatsugiri could be a big problem. Looks like it is a Choice Scarf Tatsugiri and went for the Draco Meteor. Now, we do get the Dire Claw off, unfortunately not able to pick up that KO, and then, of course, the Salt Cure finishes us off. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that battle there today. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Post your comments in the comment section below. What do you guys think about that Garganacl? And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.